Hi everybody, my name's Lisa Beamer. I am the manager at Spurr House in Unsworth. We are a 36-bed short stay unit caring for adults. I've recently celebrated my 25-year journey within Spurr House. I've always worked there and it's very, very close to my heart. Over the last 12 months we've experienced some really highs and also some lows, but overall, as much as very challenging, so rewarding and satisfying. We've made a difference to so many people's lives and we continue to do that. We, at the beginning of the year, celebrated a good rating with CQC following our inspection, and we celebrated with a big party for all our staff and customers, which was a wonderful, wonderful event. I've got two of my staff here with me today who are prepared to share with you some wonderful things that they've done for our service, and that's Francine, Millar and Paula Forward.
So you meet a lot of people doing this job, and I've come to learn that once you start talking to people, everybody's got a book within them. Everyone's got a story to tell. And I started talking to people, writing down what they were saying to me. In some instances, two people, totally different backgrounds, totally different places of birth. But once I started talking to them, it was, they'd met, they had a parallel during the war. They'd met without even knowing. So they could have passed in the street, he could have opened a door for her. You know, it's hard to tell, but it's really, really interesting to speak to people. I also spoke to a lady who was a famous singer abroad when she was younger, and she had some marvellous pictures that we could put into her story as well. And also a gentleman that had come to us, he'd had a stroke and he had various impairments. One of them was his speech. He used to get quite emotional as well. But he was also a singer, and he looked like Charles Bronson. But apparently he said to me he was a babe magnet. His words, not mine, but he was a babe magnet when he was younger. But he did actually look like Charles Bronson, which was, we had the pictures as well to prove it. So he had quite a good female following when he was younger. But he used to get upset when he spoke about it. But after a while, he enjoyed talking about it, and everybody else learnt about him as well, including customers and staff, and we used to sit down and chat with him about it. And that just shows you the feeling that we have in Spurr House, of everybody we work with. Everybody's interested in each other, whether it's staff, whether it's customers, anybody that comes in, everybody's interested and got a story to tell. There's a lady also that had been with us for quite a while, ever since I'd been there. She'd been there, Olive. She was part of the furniture really, she was part of the family. She sadly passed away in September. But everybody was sad about that. Everybody, she was part of the family, and it's hard to talk about her in the past tense because she's very much present, and she still is. And we still talk about her. She wasn't on her own when she passed away. Everybody wanted to see her. But she's still there, she's still part of us. And I wrote a eulogy, which the family very kindly put into an order of service at the funeral. We also had a big CQC party when we had a good rating. So everybody got involved with that, and Olive was one of the people that got up. You couldn't even sit her down. She was dancing, she was singing away. So it just sort of gives you a bit of an idea what it's like to work at Spurr House, and the camaraderie we've got, and the family. Everybody joins in, everybody supports each other.
Hello, my name is Francine Millar. I work at Spurr House as a care assistant for the last year and a half. That's what I've been doing. But I also entered into a garden competition that they had put on, and I put a lot of thought and effort into this. I wasn't quite sure where I was going to go at first, and then I realised that what we really needed was to bring our values to the forefront. Our values, which are respectful, enthusiastic, adaptable, caring and honest. And so I did a lot of research into the flowers that would represent that, and looked at the various colours that we could bring into the garden to represent it, and also our furniture. And it wasn't an easy task to do. It was long hours spent on this. And then I put forward my plan, and I was absolutely gobsmacked to actually win this competition. And then I realised there was work to be done. And so I've spent hours in the garden trying to bring it into life, into being into the plan. And it's been a joy to see customers and staff come out, talk to me, and put in their mix their thoughts, their ideas. And some of them have come alongside and worked, either done some gardening with me, taking out old bushes that had died. Some have tidied up behind me. Some of them have just sat alongside me in the cold or in the sunshine. And there have been days that I've had the staff come in and the customers alike, and they have suddenly realised what we're doing. And they've been talking once about one another, and with such enthusiasm. And they've been displaying these values right before my eyes. There are times that I walk into units and the customers are talking about the garden, and they're coming out and following me when I go back to the garden to weed. And it's just been such a joy to see this garden flourish. As colour has come out, and as some furniture has been put out there, then it's encouraged more and more people to come and use it. And I'm sure that as the plan continues to go on, that we will see not just the garden just grow, but our customers engage with the staff and support and encourage us more. I'm sure also the staff will, as they see these values before their eyes each day, that they will just want to keep representing those and see Persona's vision grow. It's just been a delight to work in the garden.
Many thanks for those wonderful examples that Paula and Francine have just shared with you all. This shows the value that all staff currently live and breathe at Spurr House every day of every shift. Since the start of the pandemic, we have continued to care for people at Spurr House, and in addition, we have supported the NHS by opening up some of our beds to allow the hospitals to discharge people into our care, to free up beds for people with COVID-19 who needed to have hospital treatment. As you're all aware, visits at care homes stopped. We had to think quick at that point, on our feet a little bit in terms of how we would maintain contact with people, with their loved ones, how it would affect our customers not seeing, they see the children every day, some of them. So we created WhatsApp accounts, we purchased more iPads just to allow that video call and that interaction to sort of maintain it as best we could. This was quite effective, and we're still doing that now, and it almost seems the new norm for us at the moment. We're hopeful in time, as restrictions are lifted slightly, that we may be able to support visits with the form of a summer house with a screen in the middle. So we're currently looking at plans to do that with some of our external areas and where we may have space to accommodate that. So it's almost that in-between of visits until we can get back to visiting within the home. At present, we are currently using one of our lounge areas at Spurr House with 8 beds, where it is being managed separately, supported separately with its own staff group, and that is for people who are COVID positive, who are poorly but don't need to be in hospital anymore. So again, supporting that NHS, working with our partners at the council to free up some of those pressures that we can support within our beds, and our other 27 beds are again managed and staffed separately to continue that respite need within the community. I'd just like to thank all my staff for all the hard work that they've done, yes, especially over the last 12 months, but for all the time of me working within Spurr House, and for going forward. We seem to really rise to a challenge when it gets put towards us, and I'm really proud to say, we're a great team and we'll always rise to the challenge. Thank you.